a.k.a. Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, welcome to the show once again. Last week I announced certain things which I'll discuss very shortly, but this is the Star Wars news, views, reviews and interviews. Let's get on with the Star Wars news. This time around, sort of related to Star Wars and sort of not. It was over a week ago, a great YouTuber, Jon Schnepp, passed away. He was definitely an icon in the YouTube world, definitely an icon at Collider, and definitely an icon with the comic book world. But he did also love Star Wars. That's why I'm mentioning him. But not just that, because he was from a distance, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. He was a great guy. Like, to me and a couple of people here that know about Jon Schnepp. Not many from where I'm from, but some. More about him a bit later on in the show. But to more news, October 13 in Germany, the new animation for Star Wars is being released. It's the news coming out from Disney in Germany. So we're going to have Resistance debuting October 13, and it's going to start off with a two-part first episode called The Recruit, and there's about 22 episodes. That's the information I have for you now. Stay tuned for more about that. To more news, the Blu-ray and the DVD for Solo will be released September 25. Hopefully that's a worldwide date. I'm sure it will be close to or is. That's the Blu-ray and DVD. About a week-ish before that, you'll get the digital version on iTunes, things like that. Solo, Blu-ray, DVD. That's what I'm looking for. September 25. To more news, it's happened about 3 or 4 days ago now. The cast of Star Wars Episode 9 was announced. Pretty much your main basic ones with a couple of new inclusions were announced. Check out StarWars.com for that. It was announced, but I'm sure there'll be more to be announced and some to be kept very hush. But check out StarWars.com for that. So that's pretty much the news for this time around. Let's get into the views. Views this time around is about one of the cast members actually making a return for Episode 9, which is Princess Leia or General Leia or Leia Organa, whatever you like to say. She is returning to make an appearance for Episode 9. They're going to use old footage, apparently, just from The Force Awakens. I'm sure they may dive into maybe a bit of Last Jedi, I don't know, but this is what I'm thinking, just to sort of add lines and just visuals and things like that. What I think, just straight off the top, I think it's great. I'm all for it. I didn't really want a CGI version. I'm not against CGI. I thought they did a great job personally in Rogue One. I'm one of the few in the Rogue One, the younger version of Princess Leia. But I think it's great. But how can you use Leia in Episode 9? Definitely it's got to be small. It's got to be a small part. You can't be overwhelmed. Should they have a death of Leia in 9? I'm sort of 50-50. I'm sort of thinking that if you had the death, it's a bit too not respectful, just because she died in real life. Carrie Fisher, that is, who plays Princess Leia, General Leia. So it's a little bit disrespectful, but at the same time, you want to conclude the Skywalker saga. This is what apparently is being said from the story sources for this new episode. This is going to be all the episodes from 1 to 9 as a big sort of collaboration type of thing, big conclusion. I think it would be good. Unfortunately, I think it's Skywalker saga has to come to end. We all don't live long lives, but I think it would be great. But that if she dies or doesn't die, I'm 50-50. But if she doesn't die, you sort of keep it lingering, sort of respect the story and the actual person itself, but you got to think about the story. It would be, it's just, look, I'm unsure how to actually deal with it. I don't know if you should see a death on camera. I don't think you should, or in the scroll. I'm a bit unsure, but at this stage, definitely have Leah in a minimal part of this movie, but you got to have it as iconic as you can, because this is the conclusion to all these episodes as the Skywalker saga. Included with her is Luke Skywalker as well. So that's what I think with the Leia in episode 9. So that's my views for this time around. Let's get into the reviews. Reviews is Clone Wars making a return. That's the Clone Wars animation series. What do I think? I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's good. I think there's a little bit of me that says, you know, it was over. Don't go back again. It's done. It feels concluded. You know, seasons 5 and season 6 was seriously great. I liked how they ended it in 5. I like how they ended it in 6. But a 7th season, I'm definitely excited for it. Like, I'll watch anything. But I just think it's done. Let's move on. But it's obviously, they're sort of rehashing things that are successful within the community, get the people back on board, the whole Star Wars thing, the people that they lost. But I think it's it's over. But at the same time, I'll be, you know, appreciative to see more of this. It'd be fantastic. 8 out of 10. That's what my reviews for the Clone Wars coming back. It was announced at Star Wars, the panel for Clone Wars at San Diego Comic-Con 2018. So that's the reviews for this time around. Let's get into the interviews. There's 2 questions where I asked myself some questions for your answer for you guys out there. What did I think of San Diego Comic-Con in the news that they put out? Well, technically they sort of announced what was going to be there beforehand, during and after. We sort of got exactly what we were wanting, no high, no less. Probably high for the sake of having this preview to this Clone Wars animation continuing. That was a high expectation. It was great. The response was great. I wish I was in that room. Yeah, so I think it was delivered perfectly as Disney does at this stage. I just feel that Disney, if there's any fault with Disney, they really are, you know, they don't go too much outside the box. When they do, their thought patterns are not completely there. For example, The Last Jedi, in my opinion, I still give it an 8 out of 10, but I think there was a lot of story ideas where it stopped and started and then stopped. Too many in the actual episode. It's great to have a surprising type story, but when you start and stop too many things, elements in the storyline of The Last Jedi becomes a bit left to nothing by the end of episode 8, that was The Last Jedi. Maybe that could be a reasoning for the big setup for episode 9, I don't know. But going back to the question, I think San Diego Comic-Con 2018 definitely delivered. It was great delivery on its, you know, core audience, which is the comic book community, especially for DC, Warner Brothers. That was fantastic. I thought the Aquaman trailer was pretty good. But yeah, I even thought the other guy, the other superhero, what's his name, Shazam, I thought that was pretty interesting. Similar sort of idea to the Aquaman sort of, you know, origin sort of feel, but that's, to me, the comic books, but it looked good. So that's the first question. Second question, when should we expect some more news about Star Wars Celebration? I can tell you officially from the website, nothing has been announced according to guests, lineups, ideas of the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, and fifth day. Nothing has been announced. So I think it would be nice to sort of get it in November of this year, 2018. But anything after that would be a little bit harder. People will be on holidays, things like that. I think November of this year would be actually a good time for more announcements, especially guests. And that's what I think. Anyway, that's my 2 questions for this interview 2Q sort of thing. I'd just like to add in closing of the show, Jon Schnepp, He was a great YouTuber for comics, great charisma, great personality. He definitely is sadly missed. It was quite a shock to myself. I thought he'd pull through. His death definitely came through a little bit like Carrie Fisher, where it was all of a sudden, and I was sort of picking up the pieces. He did tweet me a number of times on a couple of things that I put out there, and I appreciate that. Even some things that I put out there by YouTube that was sort of a bit, not appreciated, but my intention was good. But he saw the sarcasm in it. Yeah, he's definitely a person that is going to be greatly missed by everyone around. So Jon Schnepp, rest in peace. Anyway, so that's the news, views, reviews, and interviews for this time around. Please be a Patreon supporter of mine. Go to patreon.com. You can support the channel that way. Just The Force Always as well. Patreon/The Force Always. Find me there. If not, just like, share, subscribe to the channel if you like. The Force Always only on YouTube. And as I say, until next time, keep rocking.